Welcome to the first segment of the Office Hour series of 2024. The Office Hours are part of our larger Women's Collective program, which is made up of not only the Office Hours, but our Women's Collective Summit, which we will be announcing in the next month. So please keep an eye out for that one. Our Women's Collective program, though, is a way to bring together the Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander women from around the country and the U.S. territories to be not only a resource, but be a safe space for understanding each other as we navigate the political sphere together. So thank you all for coming today. So without further ado, please give a warm welcome to Running Start, who will be leading this values workshop today. And welcome Kim as well, who is Running Start's Programs and Operations Coordinator. I'll let her take it away.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining us today. Like Mackenzie said, I am the Programs and Operations Coordinator at Running Start. And Running Start is a nonpartisan nonprofit that trains young women to run for office. And the exercises that we're going through today is just part of our day-long elector workshop. So this is a very condensed version, and I'm so excited to be facilitating today. And then let's see, I'm going to share my screen. All right, here is a little look at our agenda today. So we've got welcome and introductions, and then we're going to go through our values exercise, a what's your issue exercise, and an elevator speech exercise before we end with a Q&A. So our first exercise of the night is a values exercise. So we are going to define some of our personal values. And before we move on to the exercise, I just wanted to talk a little bit about why values are important. So each of us has a set of core values that shapes who we are, and you can think of these core values as an internal compass that helps guide your everyday decisions. So being able to define and articulate those core values will help you as a leader to make tough decisions and communicate who you are. And this exercise today will ask you to explore some common values, reflect on them, and then narrow down your top 3. And a couple of things to keep in mind as we go through this exercise. Your values may fluctuate over time as we take in new information and new experiences, and our values will look different from one another as a result of our individual perspectives and the external influences that shape who we are. So if everybody could just copy that first bit.ly link into their web browser, it is going to take you to a, let's see if I can share the screen, a Flippity, and that's where we'll start our exercise. So looking at this list of values, I just want everyone to take a few moments to think about which ones resonate with you personally, and then we'll start to sort them into 4 categories based on how important they are to you. So always a priority, often a priority, sometimes a priority, and then never a priority. And you can just move them around as you see fit. And then we'll take a couple minutes to do that. We're going to do a couple more rounds of sorting. And this next sort will ask you to put away your never and sometimes a priority values, and we're only going to look at our always values. So these are the things that you've identified as something you'll always value. And this next sort will ask you to rank your top 10 of always values. Our next, we are going to take some time to reflect on how it felt to rank our top 10 values. And then we also have a couple of reflection and discussion questions. So the first being, how do you define these values? and what life experiences cause you to develop these values. How do you live these values in your everyday life? And how have you used these values when making hard decisions or navigating hard situations? With that, we'll move on to our next exercise. And it's called our What's Your Issue exercise. And this exercise will ask you to reflect on the issues that are most important to you, because in order to make plans to be a leader, like running for office or organizing people to advocate for something, you have to know what you want to do with that position, and you can't take action unless you know what it is that you want to address. So this exercise will ask us to take a minute and think about things we've noticed in our communities that we'd like to change or improve. And community can mean something as small as your neighborhood or as big as the entire world or anything in between. So we want to try and be really specific when thinking about the issues that we'd like to address. And if you can go to this worksheet page, we'll take a few minutes to fill out this worksheet, and it'll ask you some of the main issues that you care about and the solutions that you may have for this issue. And with that, we'll move on to our next exercise. And it's called our What's Your Issue exercise. And this exercise will ask you to reflect on the issues that are most important to you, because in order to make plans to be a leader, like running for office or organizing people to advocate for something, you have to know what you want to do with that position, and you can't take action unless you know what it is that you want to address. So this exercise will ask us to take a minute and think about things we've noticed in our communities that we'd like to change or improve. And community can mean something as small as your neighborhood or as big as our world or anything in between. So we want to try and be really specific when thinking about the issues that we'd like to address. If you can go to this worksheet page, we'll take a few minutes to fill out this worksheet, and it'll ask you some of the main issues that you care about and the solutions that you may have for this issue. Take some more time to reflect on the issues that we care about. And I want to next move on to our elevators pitch exercise. So we have another workbook link. And an elevator speech is a pitch that can be made in just a short amount of time that it takes to ride in an elevator with someone. And it's one of the most useful techniques to have in your toolbox. So this elevator speech should be about 30 seconds long and include your name, your issue, why it matters. And then we like to always end our elevator pitch with a call to action. And a lot of candidates use this skill to make connections with potential supporters, also useful in many other situations. So you might use it to advocate for a cause or to ask for a job, to ask for mentorship, a lot of other situations. So we'll all use the same template for crafting our speeches. And before we do that, there are a few notes that I want to talk about this template. And the first is that this is just a first draft of your elevator speech. And as always, practice makes perfect. And over time, you'll find that this speech will change to address the issues that are more central in your life. And the format that we're using today is just one way to craft an elevator speech. And as you become more and more comfortable with elevator speeches, you'll get better and better at analyzing your audience to tailor the speech to whoever your audience is. And it might not always look exactly like this template. And let's take a few minutes to fill out this worksheet. and share some of the issues that we're passionate about and our personal connection to the issue. And then we'll end with a call to action. And this exercise is tailored towards people interested in running for office, but again, can be adapted to fit just about any situation. So your call to action, this elevator speech might not be related to running for office, but it can be something as simple as asking people to donate money to a cause or to do more research on a specific subject. So our main takeaways from doing this elevator speech exercise is that elevator speeches or elevator pitches allow you to quickly engage with a person by briefly telling them the most important things about you and the issues that you care about. So they're great for candidates or anyone in a lot of different situations. And for elevator speeches, one of the most important things to know is that bullet points are often more or better than sentences, and almost all of the time, you'll often be more critical of yourself than your audience will be. So just showing that you have some knowledge and enthusiasm about the issues that are important to you and the issues that are important in your community will be more meaningful than a super polished or super practice elevator pitch. That concludes our session for today. You can stay in touch with us by visiting our website, runningstart.org, or at runningstart on any social media. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Mackenzie, thank you so much for having me.